Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. So that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. That is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This actually goes back to chapters 2 and 3 in the book of Revelation, and it's about idolatry. Okay, the economy was divided up into trade guilds, and if you worked, everyone had to be a part of a trade guild. You were a part of everyone was a part of one. And when the emperor came along, how Roman civilizations and empires worked was they had a certain amount of religions that they identified as you could be a part of. Christianity was not one of them. And in the Roman Empire, you could believe any god, any lord, whatever, but the rule was Caesar was your first lord. The Caesar was your first lord, and then you could have any other lord. Believe whatever you want. So Christians did not mesh so well with Roman empires. Because one, they didn't walk around saying, Jesus is my personal Lord. They walked around telling people, he's the Lord. Yeah, of you. And guess what? He's the king of your king. That kind of ticks him off, That didn't sit well with Nero. And so they were respectful to authority. They gave to Caesar what was Caesar's. They paid their taxes, but he was never their Lord. And they followed him up until the point where they had to compromise their lordship to their true Lord. Now what happens is Christians were getting persecuted for being Christian. In fact, 2 Corinthians, one of the main parts it was written was because Paul is taking an offering. It might be 1 Corinthians, but he's taking an offering for the Jewish Christians who are just under severe persecution. They're losing business. They're losing their homes. So Christians are not going through some good stuff at this time period. And the Roman Empire basically had said, if you are not going to, in other words, bow to our Lord, then you're going to be in trouble. And so what happened is they started going through persecution because they were Christ followers. And so what? They didn't have the mark of the beast. In other words, they were not a part of the world system. They were owned by God. And so because they were Jesus followers, they couldn't buy or sell or trade. So when it says, no one can buy or sell unless they have the mark, this is very prevalent to what they're going through. Their lack of their ability to not compromise to the world and to do things their way so that they could prosper in their business was what was going on here. I'm telling you, read the history of what Jewish Christians were going through from the moment Jesus ascends all the way till about 85. It is horrible for their business, for their family, for their homes, for everything. We talked a little bit about it last week, but it's no different here. So to wrap this up, in other words, you can't buy or sell unless you participate in idolatry. This is applicable to John, but this is applicable to us too. If you're going to be an uncompromising, devoted Christian, there will be a form of persecution in some way, where someone might cheat on a deal or cheat on their taxes or lie about something or not stick true to the word that they said to somebody in a business deal or whatever it might be, or they might do something that's unethical or unbiblical, and you stand your ground. Listen, we're seeing it even in culture today, where you say you're a Christian and you are all kinds of words that nobody should be called. And the culture is railing against a biblical worldview and contending for Christians to change what is orthodox and Christian teaching for 2,000 years. And it's like, if you want to be a part of the system, bow to the system. And Christians do not bow to the system. Therefore, they sometimes have problems participating in the system.